Full resolution number 3, Yuri Alemao.
Speaker sir, this House strongly recommends to the government to take immediate steps to stop the unjust customs of widow discrimination, widow abuse and widow isolation in the state. Though there are no registered complaints, the isolation, discrimination and abuse is taken for granted as part of custom, tradition and religious or social practice. A few villages, panchayats in Goa have taken the resolution against such outdated and inhuman customs, stating that the widow should be treated on par with married women. Steps be taken into coordination with the Director of Panchayats, Directorate of Municipal Administration, Goa State Women's Commission and Goa Human Rights Commission to convene Gram Sabhas of Village Panchayats, organize awareness meetings in every city and meetings of various NGOs to express solidarity with widow and boost the confidence of all women against such obsolete and archaic practices and mindset prevailing in the community. Government should contemplate on bringing a law to stop such unjust practices. Speaker sir, let me first say a few words on the resolution. Speaker sir, my resolution in its original form had 2 paragraphs. However, the second paragraph is deleted for reasons unknown. My only appeal to the government is to implement the order of Goa Human Rights Commission in proceeding number 358-2016. Speaker sir, the background, what has guided me to move this resolution to protect the dignity of widowed women. Speaker sir, Human Rights and Widow Practice, an article by social worker and writer Naman Dwaskar. This article is in Marathi. I am placing the same on the table of the House. This will clarify what is meant by widow abuse, which forms a part of this resolution. Second, 1 year of struggle against inhuman widow practices. An article by social worker Pramod Zingde in Marathi weekly Sadhana. I am also placing this on the table of the House. This will clarify what is meant by widow abuse and widow discrimination, which forms a part of this resolution. Speaker sir, the work of the NGO We, an organization which was working to build awareness against the inhuman widow practices and protect the dignity of women. The treatment meted out to women on death of a husband during the time of the funeral is the most uncivilized attack on human dignity. In addition, a widow faces social isolation after the death of her husband. These are restrictions on movement, and in any religious or family rituals, widows are almost treated as untouchables. They are expected to hide themselves rather than be seen. The death of husband could happen due to any reasons, because it can be due to COVID, it can be due to road accidents, due to sickness, due to heart attack or cancer. The woman should not and does not lose the status of being the wife of a deceased husband. Yes. Speaker sir, I take this opportunity to congratulate the organization and the NGO We and the social workers who are working to build awareness against these inhuman practices. I also take this opportunity to congratulate the village panchayats in Goa, though they are quite few in numbers, who have shown the courage to pass a resolution against such discriminatory practices. I appeal to all my colleagues in the State Assembly to support this resolution and pass the same unanimously. Speaker sir, widows are in a minority. Widowed women are around 10 to 15%, the total population of our state. 10 to 15% hai. I am looking at minority not on the basis of religion, but on the basis of the voiceless numbers. They do not raise their voice due to the power of the majority to silence them. They are weak and therefore voiceless. As legislators, it is our duty to stand with such voiceless minority. This House should stand with the weak and the voiceless. This House should stand to protect the dignity of women and the dignity of widows. I also wish to make a few things clear. There are some who raise the issue of public sentiment. They say that public sentiment should be examined. Let us be clear that we as legislators should not be with inhuman, unconstitutional and discriminatory practices. Such practices cannot be allowed on the ground of public sentiment. There are some who say that this is a religious issue. My reply is that here we are come not to reform religion, but to reform the democratic society. I believe that all religion and all religious leaders would be on one platform when it comes to such discriminatory practices against women. That does not mean that as legislators we should be part of this platform. I received, Speaker Sir, some messages. There were some fillers. Some gave me advice saying that I am a Christian and I should not move this resolution. Yes. To all of them, I want to make it clear that I am born in a Christian family, but I am not a Christian MLA. Let me repeat, I am born in a Christian family, but I refuse to accept that I am a Christian MLA. I am an MLA. I stand for Goa and Goans. Speaker Sir, Goa is the only state in India which has the common civil code. And this gives equal right to men and women. Let us follow this unique law and ensure that all the men and women get equal rights and are treated without any discrimination. I know it is difficult to change the mindsets of the society. At least we as legislators, as lawmakers and as public men can empower the NGOs and social workers who are struggling to protect and guard the dignity of widows. That is what I expect and I ask for through this resolution. Speaker Sir, we talk of Ladli Lakshmi. My question is, does a widow cease to be a Lakshmi? Speaker Sir, we talk of Nari Shakti. Does a widow lose the Shakti? So this is all, Speaker Sir. Thank you, Speaker Sir.
Yes. थारा सभामकां आसा जांकां उलोवपाचें आसा ताणें प्रेस बटन प्रेस केला न्ही. येस. एक 5-5 मिनटाचो न्ही आपल्या स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट मांडात. Yes.
Speaker Sir, I stand in the support of resolution moved by Yuri Alemao. Speaker Sir, गोंयान जो सिव्हिल कॉमन सिव्हिल कोड आसा हो एक युनीक आसा आनी इंडियन आमची स्टेट आसा थंय कॉमन सिव्हिल कोड फॉलो करता आनी ह्या कॉमन सिव्हिल कोडान सगळ्यांक रायट हे बाकीच्या स्टेटी भशेन ना. सो हो जो कॉमन सिव्हिल कोड आसा हो सारको फॉलो जावपाक जाय. सो ऑलरेडी एक्ट आसा सो हो एक्ट सारको फॉलो जावपाक जाय. स्पीकर सर, जे गोंयान आमची जे विडो वुमन्स आसा तांकां तितून कॉमन सिव्हिल कोडान होय रायट आसा की तेंची प्रॉपर्टीज जी आसा तेजो शेअर मेळटा आनी दुसऱ्या स्टेटी भशेन ना. थंय खुबशे डिफरन्सीस जाता आनी गोंयान हे खंय ना खंय लिगलायज जे लिगल टर्म्स आसा हे लिगल हितून सपोर्ट करपा जाय. कारण खूब टायम कितें जाता की जे विडो वुमन्स आसता तांकां तेंचो रायट मेळपाक लागून खूब त्रास काडचे पडटा. सो सरकारान कितें तरी पॉलिसी हाडपाक जाय जे करून तांकां पॉलिसी इन द सेन्स तांकां तेंचो लिगल टर्म्सान रायट दिवपाक जाय, लिगल सपोर्ट दिवपाक जाय. स्पीकर सर, मेन म्हटल्यार आयज कितें जाला विडोज कितल्यो आसा खंय आसा जावं कितें तेंचो फायनान्शियल बॅकग्रावंड आसा, स्टेबिलिटी कितें आसा ही कोणाक कांय खबर ना. आयज आमी तांकां स्कीम दिता आसतले पण ती स्कीम तांकां पावता काय ना, तेंची फॅमिली बॅकग्रावंड कितें आसा हें सरकारान पळोवपाक जाय, सर्वे करपाक जाय आनी तें फुडें हाडपाक जाय. सरकारान विडोंक लागून लायव्हलीहूड पॉलिसी हाडपाक जाय जी खूब गरजेची आसा. जेन्ना लायव्हलीहूड आमी पॉलिसी हाडटले आमी तांकां खंय ना खंय सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुपा अंडर जावं खंयचे तांकां एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट करून कित्याक तेंची जी फायनान्शियल हें आसा तो बॅकग्रावंड खूब त्रास काडचे पडटा, खूब जाणांक त्रास काडचे पडटा आनी आमकां केन्ना केन्ना कळत ना आमचो जो सपोर्ट प्रायस आसा तो खूब कमी पडटा. मात जेन्ना आमी तांकां लायव्हलीहूड पॉलिसी हाडटली जावं लायव्हलीहूड प्रोग्राम हाडटले तेन्ना खंय ना खंय तांकां एक बूस्ट मेळटलो आनी त्या बुस्टान ती कामां करपाक शकतले. फायनान्शियल जो सपोर्ट आसा तो वाडोवपाचीय गरज आसा, कारण खूब जाणांक कामाक बसून वयचे आपणाची फॅमिलीक पळोवचें पडटा, भुरग्यांक पळोवचें पडटा, भुरग्यांचें एड्युकेशन पळोवचें पडटा. सो हेजेर सरकारान लक्ष दिवपाक जाय आनी खंय ना खंय आमचे जे विडोज आसा तांकां सरकारा कडल्यान सरकाराचे जे धोरण आसा आमी बायलांक लावन खूब कितें कितें करता म्हणून, पण हे जेन्ना आमी करतले तांकां बूस्ट दितले जावं तेंच्या बिजनसान इनवॉल्व करतले तेन्नाच खंय ना खंय तेंचो लायव्हलीहूड सेक्युअर जातलो. थँक्यू.
डॉक्टर शेटे.
स्पीकर सर, हांव जो उबो रावल्लो आसा ते प्रायवेट मेंबर रेझोल्युशन जे आमचे लिडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन युरी आलेमावान घातलेले आसा, हे हांव स्ट्रॉंगली रिकमेंड करता गव्हर्मेंट टू टेक इमिजिएट स्टेप टू स्टॉप द अनजस्ट कस्टम ऑफ विडो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, विडो अब्यूज एंड विडो आयसोलेशन इन द स्टेट. आमचे तशे सोसायटीन खुबशे अशे कस्टम्स आशिल्ले, खुबशे वायट कस्टम्स आशिल्ले लायक चायल्ड मॅरेज बी, ते सगळे काडलेले आसा. खुबशे इम्प्रूव जाल्ला पूण आनी खूब करपाचें आसा. ही एक विडो ही अशी कस्टम आसा जेन्ना आमची भयणां केन्ना ती विडो जातकच सगळ्यात पयलीं तांकां म्हणजे कसो जाता, तिचो जेन्ना घोव भायर पडटा ते सगळ्यात व्हडले तेचेर इतको पे जाता की त्याच्या संवसारांत फुडें कितें जातलें. आनी ही जी कस्टम फक्त एकाच धर्मा पुरती ना किंवा एका रिलीजन सगळ्यां कडेन आसा. फुडें कितें जातलें, तिची जर भुरगीं आसल्यार भुरग्यांचें कितें जातलें, इफ शी इज इन द एज बिटवीन लायक मिड 40s बी, जर जाणटी आसली जाल्यार आपणाक इतली वर्सां आपल्या बरोबर आसलो तो आपणाक सोडून गेलो, आतां आपले कोण काळजी घेतलो, भुरगीं बी आसात. सो अशे सगळे तिचे प्रश्न घोल्ले असतात. आनी तरी खुबशे आमच्या रिलीजन अशे कस्टम्स आसात की जो घोव मरतूक सुनी कोणाचे ते मंगळसूत्र काडप आसता आणि कितें जे सगळे फॉर्मेलिटीज आसता. इट्स रियली म्हणजे ते चिंतून सुद्दां ते दुखता. सो ही जी कस्टम आसा ही बंद करपाक जाय. आनी सोसायटीन बायलांकूच कित्याक बायलां म्हणटात ती अशी आसात बाबी ती सगळेच सोंसतात, त्यांच्या कडेन इतके जेन्ना तांकां त्रास जाता ती एक्सप्रेस सुद्दां करूंक शकनात. घरांतले सगळे सोडप, सगळे कस्टम्स तांच्यांनी फॉलो करप, फेरच दादल्याक अशें कांयच नासता. आनी मागीर ती विडो बायल जेन्ना ती सोसायटीन भोंवता तेन्ना कळटा बाबा ही विडो आसा म्हणून. अशे डिफरन्सीस जावंक जायना. तिका जो पयलीं आशिल्लो तिचो घोव आसतना तिका जो सोसायटीन रिस्पेक्ट आसलो तोच मागीर आसपाक जाय. इवन थोडी कडेन असो कस्टम आसा की जी एक जर विधवा बायल आसा आनी तिच्या स्वताच्या भुरग्याचें सुद्दां जर लग्न जाता जाल्यार ती ते लग्न तितलें एन्जॉय करूंक शकनात. म्हणजे हांव हे पयलीं आयकलें ती लग्नाक सुद्दां वचूंक शकना. सो हे अशें आसप जायना. तिका कितें दिसतलें आयुश्यभर आपल्या भुरग्याक वाडयलो तिणी, केन्ना केन्ना ती एकटीच बायल वाडयता, घोव तिचो एक्सपायर जाल्लो आसता आनी तरी तिका ते रिलीजियस हेतून तिका पार्टिसिपेट करपाक प्रॉपरली जायना. सो त्या खातीर हे जे कस्टम आसात आनी हो जर आमी विडोचो जर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हे जर आमी काडीत जाल्यार गोंय असेंब्ली ही म्हाका दिसता भारतांतली पयली असेंब्ली जातली की हे अशें डिस्क्रिमिनेशन गोंय विडोंचे काडपाचें. आमच्या हल्लीच जर हांव पळयलें जाल्यार अरावंड आमच्या गोंयचे 14 पंचायतींनी रेझोल्युशन घेतला की विडो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन आसूंक जायना म्हणून. आमचो आमदार बाप प्रवीण आल्लेकर एकी कडेन तो पार्टिसिपेट जाल्लो, हांव ताचे म्हणजे खरेंच कॉंग्रेच्युलेशन करता. हेचोच अर्थ कित्याक हे 14 पंचायतीन पार्टिसिपेट केला म्हणजे कितें खुबशा लोकांक हे जो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन आसा विडो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन म्हणटात तो काडपाक जाय. तांकां अशी ती बायलां एकदां तांचो घोव एक्सपायर जालो काय ती दिसपाक जायना की बाबा ती घोव एक्सपायर जालो. एक लोक पळयतना नजरेन सुद्दां तांचेर दुसरेर पळयतात. अशें कांयच जायना. तांकां म्हणटात तो आतांच जशें आमचे लिडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन आमी तांकां लक्ष्मी म्हणटात, सगळे म्हणटात, सर्टन पॉयंट पर्यंत म्हणटात. ज्या दिसा तिचो घोव एक्सपायर जालो दुसऱ्या दिसाचें सगळें बदलता. कित्याक अशें जावपाक जाय तुका? कित्याक ते सगळीं सोंसता म्हणून, सगळे ते आयकून घेता म्हणून, घरांतल्यांचें आयकता, समाजाचें आयकता, सोसायटीचें आयकता. अशें तेंच्यांनी कितें वायट केलां? इनफॅक्ट तांच्यांनी इतलें बरें केलां बाबडे त्या लक्ष्मीनी आपल्या घराचे ज्या जन्माक घरा जाल्ले तितलोय संवसार बरो केला. कोणाच्या घरा लग्न जावन वता थंय संवसार बरो करता. सो वी नीड टू रिस्पेक्ट देम. आनी हो जो विडो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन आय स्ट्रॉंगली रिकमेंड हे जो विडोचेर इनजस्टीस जाता तो इनजस्टीस काडचो आनी तांकां गव्हर्मेंटान सपोर्ट करचो. देव बरें कर.
Speaker, sir, I rise to speak on the private member resolution passed by my colleague Sri Yuri Alemao to stop the unjust customs of widow discrimination, widow abuse and widow isolation in the state. आमच्या colleague Dr. Chandrakant Shetyen काय बरे स्पष्टपणे सांगलेले आहा सर. This is a very sensitive issue. Being a widow, and especially ज्या टायमार जे certain customs, traditions follow जाता आमचे, तुझो मेल्लो गोव फुडल्यान हा, आणि at that time there are customs like that lady, the widow, she is only physically present, mentally ताजे heart, soul, everything is lost with her husband. And ते तिसर physically present असताना आणि she is all morally dead. आणि त्या टायमार बसून हे कस्टम हा की त्या वक्तार तुझे मंगलसूत्र काढलेले जाता, तुझे सिंदूर काढलेले, तुझे bangles are broken. It's really not fair on that lady at that time. Whatever customs, whatever traditions, whatever religion, if she feels that she has to follow it, all the decisions should be hers at that time, because it's so disheartening to even see at that time, you are all broken up. आणि त्या वक्तार जेन्ना तुझो घोव त्या घरांतलो भायर तेजी लास्ट रायट्स जाता, तो with whom you have spent your entire life, you are the better half, what we say, आणि तो भायर सोडता तेन्ना this thing what is happening is really very, very sad. The whole right, whole decision should be of the lady, whether she wants to remove that Mangalsutra, whether she wants to remove the Sindur or whatever. The decision has to be hers, and not, she should not be bound by the society or by her religion or by her family or whatever. This is what this is my humble appeal. It is not correct on that lady. Secondly, बाब आमचो विरेश बोरकरान सांगला ते प्रमाणे गो सोडून गेलो, then the whatever right she has of her children, of the property, of the husband's property, that should come legally to her. She should not be excluded from all the whatever rights. She has left her family everything and given her whole life and everything to the family of the husband. So whatever property rights, what she is due as a lady of the house, she should get. And the widow scheme especially, sir, तेका ते बायलेक फायनान्शियल असिस्टन्स 2000 काय वडे कितें मेवता ते मातशें वाडोवन दिवंक जाय. तेजे कोण तिका भुरगीं आसतात शिक्षणाक, तेका जाय आसता हे पयशे whatever. So that widow scheme should be dispersed at the earliest, and the benefit amount should be increased for her. Thank you very much, sir.
Honorable Member Devyarani.
Speaker, sir, I rise to speak on the private member's resolution moved by Honorable Opposition Leader about the unlawful widow practices happening in Goa. And these widow practices happen not only in Goa, in all over the country we see, but as a woman legislator and elected by our people of Goa, I would like to speak on the practices that happen in Goa. And I think as a woman, we should be speaking for all the women of Goa, and I'm speaking on behalf of all the women of Goa. Ki ye je widow practices asa, like we talk about women empowerment, we talk about, we celebrate International Women's Day every year, and we have been celebrating it over the last so many decades. But jenna ami इंटरनॅशनल वुमन्स डे सेलिब्रेट कित्याक करता की महिलाक एक समानताय मेळची म्हणून इक्वॉलिटी मेळची अँड फॉर टू क्रिएट दॅट इक्वॉलिटी बिटवीन a man and a woman. But there are certain practices, there are certain, I mean, the woman has still, after all these years, we need to celebrate the International Women's Day to create that awareness, because this awareness has still not happened, and the woman doesn't have the same rights as a man. So this is the reason we still celebrate International Women's Day, to create these awareness. So जेन्ना हे विडो प्रॅक्टिसीस आसा, एक बायल मनीस विडो जाता तेन्ना इमिजिएटली सगळ्या जगाक कळटा की ती एक विडो आसा म्हणून, बिकॉज शी ड्रेसीज अप इन अ सर्टन मॅनर. इट कूड बी अक्रॉस ऑल रिलिजन्स, बट शी ड्रेसीज अप इन अ सर्टन मॅनर. शी कॅन डू सर्टन थिंग्स, शी कांट डू सर्टन थिंग्स. इतले प्रॅक्टिसीस आसता, अँड मोर इन विलेजीस. आय एम रियली थँकफूल की आमचे 14 पंचायती अक्रॉस Goa have passed these resolutions, including couple of my panchayats have passed these resolutions to get away with these widow practices. And I want to congratulate all the 14 panchayats who have done this, because this is a very progressive step towards women empowerment. Because जे आमी steps घेतले, आमी आमचे effort, if we don't try as elected representatives to try to bring about change, nobody will be able to. Because we have seen that with all our efforts across centuries, we have seen lots of changes that have happened. पहिली हेच विडोक पहिली सती ती करताली, उज्यान उडकी मारताली, सेंचुरीज ओल्ड प्रॅक्टीस आसताले. ताजे मागीर चायल्ड मॅरेजीस पयल्या आमी, कास्ट डिस्क्रिमिनेशन पयला, बट दॅट विथ ऑल एफर्ट्स हॅव got abolished. But the same way, if we put all our efforts and if we try, I think our state could be the first state to get rid of these unlawful practices. Because I feel a woman, if we are talking about women empowerment, ek bail manshek swata, she can choose. Like my colleague Delilah said, a woman has to have the right to choose whether she wants to follow certain practice or not follow. I don't think the people around her should force her to do certain things and make her do certain things which she is not ready to. If she wants to, she should be able to do it, and she should want to do it. But nobody should force her to do things that she doesn't want to. आणि तिका सगळ्या गांवांसमोर, सगळ्या लोकांसमोर to do these public practices is totally unjust, and I think it is high time we have to try to think about this in a very positive manner and see that we work in a real manner of creating women empowerment. कित्याक पयलींच ती जेन्ना तिजो घोव भायर पडटा तेन्ना जो harrowing time she goes through, emotional trauma she goes through, only that woman will understand what she is going through. At the same time, sometimes different age groupaचे widows असता, sometimes she is just married आणि widow जाता, थोड्यांक भुरगीं नासता, थोड्यांचे 6 म्हयन्याचे 1 वर्साचे भुरगीं आसता आणि ती widow जाता आणि she has to go through such emotional trauma. इतले वर्सां लग्न जावन विडो जाता, इतले वर्सांचो संबंध आसता आणि ती विडो जाता. देर इज सो मेनी मेमरीज कनेक्टेड आसता, सो मच लव अफेक्शन सगळे फॅमिली टुवर्ड्स ईच अदर इतले आसता, पण शी इज फोर्स्ड टू डू सर्टन थिंग्स अगेन्स्ट हर विशीज. सो इफ दीज प्रॅक्टिसीस are not there for a man, I don't think these practices should be there for a woman. That is why we are still talking about women and women empowerment and International Women's Day, trying to still celebrate it to create awareness that आमकां equality मेळपाक जाय. So हांव मागता की आमचे गव्हर्मेंट, हांव हाजे बद्दल आमचे माननीय मुख्यमंत्र्या कडेनूय उलयल्लें आसा आणि मंत्र्या कडेनूय उलयल्लें आसा, बिकॉज a group organization came to me with a memorandum saying that this thing is happening all over Goa, and we all know, but please, as a woman, we would like you to speak for us and see if you can bring about some change. So I'm hopeful that our Goa government will bring about a positive change for each and every woman of Goa. Thank you, Speaker, sir.
Alton Acosta. Speaker sir, जे private members resolution जे आमगेले leader of opposition by Yuri Jada recommend the government to take steps to stop the unjust customs of widow and widow abuse and एका support करपा उबरावला. Speaker sir, म्हाका दिसता आज आमी पयली सुवातेर आज एक मोतीन दवरपा जाय. आज समज तर आमी एक असेंब्ली आहाय जाल्यार बायल मनशां लागून आनी इतले आमगेले मेंबर्स उलयले आनी म्हाका दिसता आज 3 आमगेले फिमेल आमगेले MLA जाय आनी 30 आनी 7 जाण आमी आमदार एज मेल आहाय. आनीक म्हाका दिसता समज तरी आमकां एक थोडोसो रिस्पेक्ट तर एक बायल मनशाक दाखयतलो जाल्यार let us be an example rest of the country by passing this private members resolution. Speaker sir, हांव आमदार येता चडशे खेड्या गांवांतल्यान केपें वाठारांतल्यान आमगेले आहाय आनी लास्ट 1 year आनी ताच्या पयलीं हांवूय जायतशे मोना एटेंड जाला आनी दूख भोगता हे सगळ्यांनी सांगले त्या प्रमाणे ज्यो कस्टम्स आमी फॉलो कोताय. Speaker sir, as a MLA, we are not only to do some other development works or tournament या बाकीचे कोता. First, this duty is to get laws and pass the laws which are for the people and for especially for the women. आनी म्हाका दिसता सरकार आनी आमगेले सगळे मेंबर्स आमी 30 आनी 7 जाण let us show our grace towards women. आज बायल मनीस आहा म्हण म्हाका दिसता आज आमी उबे आहाय आनीक म्हाका दिसता हो रिस्पेक्ट हो जो मान बायल मनशा आहा तो आज दाखोवपाची गरज आहा. And let us be an example to rest of the country. हें जे आमगेलें bill आहा तें private members resolution आहा तें पास करपाक. Otherwise आमी येयले हिंगा भाशण दिलें सगळ्यांक तेंच सांगलां customs follow कोताय. But what is our stand? म्हाका दिसता आज आमी आमगेलो बायलांक हो मान हो सम्मान दिवपाचो गरज आहा कित्याक आज तरी आमी उबे आहाय एक बायल मनशा लागून उबे आहाय. So let us all be together and get this resolution passed. Thank you, Speaker sir.
Wednesday, Vegas.
Speaker sir, I stand by in support of the private member resolution raised by the leader of opposition, Shri Yuri Alemao. Speaker sir, जे आज आमगे समाजान घडटा हे discrimination म्हाका दिसता is very important.
One moment. CM.
Speaker sir, under Rule 16 of the Rule of Procedure and Conduct of Business, I move a motion to extend the duration of the sitting of the House by 2 hours.
The motion is that the duration of the sitting of the House be extended by 2 hours. Those in favor may say aye.
Aye.
Those against may say no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. I extend the duration of the House by 2 hours. Wednesday.
जो हे टोटल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन जे चलता आनी कस्टम्स जे चलता हे आज टोटली बंद करपाची गरज आहा. हे रेजोल्यूशन आज इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट बिकॉज हे जितले प्रिवियस ट्रेडिशन जी चलताली दोज हॅज टू बी स्टॉप्ड एंड अ वुमन हू इज अ विडो हॅज टू बी ट्रीटेड एंड गिवन इक्वल एक्सेप्टन्स सेम एज अ वुमन हू हॅज हर हजबंड. स्पीकर सर, कितल्योश्यो स्किमी आमी दिता बट त्यो स्किमी हुंय तरी उणी पडटा. वी नीड टू एन्श्योर दॅट इक्वल रायट्स आर गिवन एंड इक्वल रायट्स आर गिवन विथ द सिमिलर मॅनर हाव अ नॉर्मल वुमन इज गोइंग टू हॅव अ रायट्स. तें डिस्क्रिमिनेशन जें चलता भोंवतासतना जें दिश्टी पडटा, जें डिस्क्रिमिनेशन समाजांत हें जें आमी कोत्ताय तें आज बंद करपाची गरज आहा. आनी हें बंद करपाक important is that we have to bring this bill, we have to get this resolution passed. Ani social security benefits je hai ye म्हाका दिसता we have to increase these benefits so that a widow does not feel somewhere overburdened and dependent maybe on her children or maybe on anyone. So that dependency ji jata ek part widow जाल म्हणटरी ती हुंय तरी आमी ती dependency तो बोझ जो आहा, the weight that comes on her, we have to remove this. And I think that can be done only by implementing such kind of resolutions and ensuring we give a confidence boosting to the widow that we have in our community. Thank you, Speaker sir.
Honorable Minister.
Yes, sir. On a very important resolution that was brought by the leader of opposition, Shri Yuri Alemao, on widow discrimination. Everybody has spoken on various verticals, we also, on the direction of the Honorable Chief Minister, we and the government are very serious on every aspect raised by every member, members from the ruling, members from the opposition, Honorable Leader of Opposition. But this is something that requires, so I was just trying to see what is available within the purview of the state law. And we are in a position to bring in certain changes as suggested. But there are several things that were given to me by the department. But here it is something that is very comprehensively that has to be thought of. And we are open to the opposition and other members also coming along, because Honorable Chief Minister is of the opinion is that there has to be certain amount of changes that need to be brought. And if we have to bring something, it's not only passing a resolution that will give us satisfaction that we passed a resolution. Widow discrimination is not only about financial assistance, it's also about the sentiment of, like he mentioned, about it goes across different religions. What are the practices? And there are several religions that follow different types of practices. And as a result of which, Speaker Sir, I only would like to assure Mr. Yuri Alemao, Honorable Leader of the Opposition, and all the members, whether it is Viresh, whether it is Mr. Borkar, whether it is Venzi, whether it is Delilah Lobo, whether it is Divya Rane, everybody who has raised these issues, we need to sit down with certain legal people and to see what is this type of changes that we can make. And I have gone through each and every point where you said that the organization came and met you. They came and met me also, and they said that they want this issue to be taken up. Then if we have to do justice to them, I think we need to apply our minds properly, take some legal help also, because we within the state powers, we have the powers to see that we are able to create a monitoring mechanism to see what needs to be done to protect their interest and to prevent this widow discrimination that is going on. You yourself mentioned officially they will not get any complaints. That does not mean that widow discrimination does not go on. All of us know what happens. All of us know across the state what happens, or any other part. We see sometimes on television also the type of widow discrimination that takes place. But I would like to also mention that this is the first Goa government is headed by the Chief Minister. I just had was talking to Mr. Nilesh Kabral also. Here, Goa is one of the few states where the state in the last assembly also amended the Goa Succession and Special Notice and Inventory Proceedings Act 2012, where a widow without her children gets 100% of whatever the property or whatever the thing for the rights, gets the total rights to herself. It's 100%. It's not, I mean, for a lady who has who's a widow, who becomes a widow and who has no children. But this is the type of steps that are already being taken by the state government. But as discussed with the Honorable Chief Minister, this issue, I can only summarize it because each one has a different sentiment. I share the sentiment of the Leader of the Opposition, and I can only give him assurance with the help of the Chief Minister, with the Law Minister, and also Leader of Opposition. We will sit down. We will also take some legal help. I've also told the Joint Secretary Government of India. I just spoke to him and I just said that the Assembly is of the sentiments of the members and sentiments of the House and sentiments of us all legislators in this Assembly. We need to legislate, and we need to legislate, then we need to apply our mind on seeing what type of legislation is required. And I can assure you, Speaker, sir, that under the guidance of the Chief Minister, Law Minister, Leader of Opposition, and another two members of the Opposition, the lady members who are there, their opinions, views. That's why I would request the Honorable, I make a commitment today to you on the floor of the House, is that in the July, whenever the next session is held, before the next session, we'll have a couple of meetings under the chairmanship of the Chief Minister. Let's deliberate on it. Let us do justice to what we want to do. Just by passing a resolution, I'm not saying you did a good thing by bringing the resolution, drawing the attention of the government, it's fine, but we need to legislate. We will legislate and bring about a law within the purviews of what we have and powers vested in the state government to prevent any kind of widow discrimination happening in the state of Goa. My only appeal is to the Honourable Member is, though I share his sentiment along with all the Chief Minister, and all of us do share the sentiments, and we are all unanimous that we are against widow discrimination, let us bring a proper law and legislate and bring a proper law which is in consultation with all of you in the next Assembly session. I make an assurance on the floor of the House that under the chairmanship of the Chief Minister and guidance we will bring, and the Law Minister, Mr. Cabral, and the Leader of Opposition. And We have there also Mr. Carlos is there, he is also a lawyer by profession, and many other members who would like to be a part of it with their suggestions. We will bring a proper, thorough law to prevent any kind of widow discrimination in the state of Goa. Hence, I appeal to the Honorable Leader of Opposition is that his point is addressed by the government. We request the Honorable Leader of Opposition is instead of passing this resolution, let us, already made a commitment on the floor of the House that the Chief Minister has already given me directions that before July in the next assembly session, whenever the next assembly session is held, you will have a law which is in consultation with you. So this law, we will make sure that we bring it in the next assembly session and we will clear this bill.
Speaker sir, I request the Honorable Minister and the Chief Minister, so next monsoon session you all will come with a law. That is what you are saying. You all will
Next
propose.
monsoon session, before that, we will already would have
Propose
had
a
and
bill.
addressed the shape of the whole law, and we will clear the bill in the monsoon
So
session.
you passed this resolution?
No, resolution, Speaker sir, resolution, I understand the sentiments of the Honorable Leader of Opposition. I am giving you assurance, categorical assurance on the resolution that you have brought, that we are bringing a law within the purview of the state based on your resolution to make a law to prevent widow
The
discrimination.
assurance given by minister, you can say, I'm withdrawing it. अरे तसे जायणार आहे. It is practice. It is a practice. Practice.
करता तुम्ही सांगले.
Okay, Speaker sir, on the assurance given by the Honorable Minister, I
Yeah,
withdraw.
that is true. So, not voting, Alpana. Next.
The question is that leave be granted to withdraw the resolution.
No. Withdraw.
Those in favor may say aye. Those against may say no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. The resolution is withdrawn.